Alright people, welcome back to Break the Press. Another day, another video. We're pumping them out now. And we're here. And look, when you see this video, it's going to be the end of the season. Pretty emotional for many. Pretty brutal for some. As I look across the table. But majority of people will have been somewhat happy. Bit dramatic at the end of the season last day, only for top 14 hours. Title race already done. But look, Man City, of course, secure Champions League football, emotional season for De Bruyne, his final game today in the Premier League for us.
Listen, this is a Premier League. We don't need to talk about City, okay?
It's about the feelings.
Can we talk about Chelsea?
Yeah. Dean, just because you prompted it, Dean, how are you feeling about the season? Sum it up in one sentence.
On the way here, just Champions League anthem playing. Champions League anthem. We're back.
Another Champions League qualifier. Abid, sum up your season in one sentence if you can.
Okay, come back to me. Let me think of that one word.
Nah, you have to do it now.
No, go.
You said one sentence. It's one sentence.
Oh, one sentence.
I believe it wins
give me a
league.
few sentences.
I believe it wins league.
Okay.
I didn't say that. Not yet.
Insert clip.
I'm going to say... Can you come back to me?
Nah, we...
Come back.
Just like every Arsenal season.
Yeah.
I got one.
Oh.
Champions of Europe. We know what we are.
Oh, the one Champions
League. We know what we are. Champions of Europe. We know what we are.
He didn't watch a single minute.
So Chelsea
he didn't
and Arsenal, we're going to be European champions. I don't care about the Prem.
Congratulations for the Arsenal women's team.
Yeah, thank you.
And now, Abdu, we'll come to you. Very, very eventful week. And sum up your...
Can I ask my manager for help?
No. Sum up your season in
one word or what?
Just
one sentence.
Yeah.
One something.
Sentence.
One something.
One letter. I can think of one letter.
I'll give you one
I
sentence.
can think of
I'll
one
give you
letter as well.
sentence. We are staying up. Say we are staying up.
Oh, my word.
But yeah, of course, as you can see, Abdul's pretty happy somehow. But
Champions League anthem. Premier League anthem. That's right.
What even is the Premier League?
Yeah, it's that one they play.
Yeah.
It's that one.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah.
Look, at the end of the season, final game done now, and everything's finalised, so can't really be anything changing for the season. So, we might as well do a nice Premier League review, and we'll start off with a team of the season. The best 11 players in their positions, or technically for me, not my positions, but the best 11 squad we can put together in the Premier League, and no better place to start than the goalkeeper.
I think this is a unanimous one.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty unanimous.
I think I know. Where are you gonna go with?
Is it unanimous?
I think it is unanimous.
Do you all agree on the table?
I don't know what you guys
Actually, I
have.
don't know what you're gonna say. To be fair.
What?
He won the Golden Glove today.
But yeah, he won the Golden Glove. He's been consistent the whole year, carrying his team. Fantastic performances. The best goalkeeper in the Premier League season is Matt Sells.
Okay, I was waiting for him to say
Yeah,
right.
I thought you were
gonna
saying
Raya. I also thought...
I put myself as well.
Listen, it would have been Raya. Second
I was surprised.
Second Golden Glove in a row. First Arsenal keeper to do that. The least goals conceded in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But it's Matt Sells. Where would they predict it to finish?
Yeah.
God knows.
Relegation for most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they bottled Champions League. They bottled it.
They got Conference League though.
Bottle job, whatever you want to say. But he was very impressive in all of the big games, particularly which Forest needed to win, except for.
So today he made that mistake on the goal, but can't deem him on one game, I'd say.
Yeah, so I'll go for Matt Sells.
Look, for me, the way that Nottingham Forest play, they invite pressure, invite the shots, and his saves, especially in that Liverpool game as well, very important. In loads of big games where they're being peppered with shots from distance, from in the box. Of course, he has the two great centre-backs in front of him, but he's had to do a lot of work. Maybe a lot more work than Alisson would have had to do, or Raya would have had to do, or us, or Edison would have had to do.
Raya had to deal with 6 red cards, so...
Yeah, that's true, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the way you guys play, the way all the other teams play, you don't invite shots.
Yeah, you're right.
He probably has a higher save percentage. I don't have the facts for that. We don't have the stat man here.
I don't think that's
We can always ask the manager.
Really? You don't think?
Raya's got the least goals conceded, but
Yeah, of
based on
course.
expectation, we'll go for Matt Sells. I think that's one of the easiest ones.
Yeah, no real debate, I think.
We go left back first? Yeah, we can go left back.
Just remind myself.
I went for Milos Kerkez.
I also went for Milos Kerkez.
Poku Korea.
Miles Lewis Kelly.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Why is that?
No,
why
that's crazy.
Why is that?
No, I don't
crazy?
think
Half
that's
a
crazy.
I don't think it's crazy.
Really?
Why is it half? Foden won a Premier League Player of the Season for half a season.
That's very true.
Eh?
Yeah,
Eh?
Did he?
that's very true. Yeah, he did. He did.
He played well for half a season. Very well.
So
did
did
MLS.
MLS.
So the MLS.
I think it's between Kirkers and MLS.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna.
People who put Anthony Robinson as well, though.
No. Listen, no. MLS. Yeah, this guy. As soon as he comes in, he's not put a foot wrong. He's been tremendous, incredible. Scored his England debut. You know what I mean?
Well, this is Premier League.
Other than the red
Yeah, I'm
card.
building him up.
Yeah, go
I'm
on.
building him up.
Go on.
18 years of age. You know, locking up everyone. The performance I've seen, I haven't seen him get twisted completely. Kirkers, I've seen it happen.
That's true.
Robinson, I've seen it happen.
Him versus Kudus?
MLS, huh?
Your West Ham game.
Well, that was a dubious red card. He was pushed first. I'm not saying it was a red card, but he was pushed first. So
Yeah.
you know, argue against that.
A red card.
Whatever.
But go on. So why do you think that he makes this team?
I think he's the best left back in the league alongside Kukurea. I think this season he's been fantastic.
Yeah, you're right. Look, the reason I feel like if you did it from per game, because of course, like you said, since he's come in, he started what? He made his Premier League debut January. Well,
yeah, around there.
yeah.
No, a bit earlier.
Was it not earlier?
Yeah,
I know earlier
City,
than that.
against City, that was his debut. He was
yeah.
a yellow card on the bench and he came on.
So that's what I'm saying. So that part, see, if you talk about just if we did a team season from that time to now, guaranteed, I think he makes it. But I feel like the way that Bournemouth played, the athleticism that players like Kirkers need, the lethality of their balls that they play in the box, the crosses, everything, the chance creation that they rely on him specifically, Kirkers. I think that, I mean, look, he's already linked to Liverpool and maybe they'll sign him. And I think for me, for what they expect, like we said about ourselves, for their expectations to where they're going to finish, they finish now in the Prem.
Really though, I mean, they crushed and burned.
They did crush the burn in the end. That's the unfortunate thing for them. But I think as a player, I think that he deserved to be in my team. We had to have at least one ball player for how well they done for most of the season.
Nah, I don't work like that.
You don't think?
Nah, I don't work like that. I don't think so. I mean, Kirkis is a good shout. I think MLS, but I think everyone's shout is valid.
I mean, for me, I think MLS fits in a different category, which I will talk about later.
The season, we'll get there.
Okay, okay. But yeah, I mean, me out for Kirkers. And actually, we'll talk about Kukurea. You didn't mention him.
So you guys talk about, obviously, January post, my MLS was very good. And then Kirkers, I'd say, earlier this season, in the crash and burn. But I think Kukurea, you can say, has been the most consistent out of all of them. Like, in terms of from the first match day, maybe not the first game, but like, generally the beginning of the season all the way to the end, like when we were considered title contenders and whatever, and even to the final day, he's been there. He's been amazing. And considering, like, you talk about the roles that everyone plays in the team, Kukurea has been the only successful player to actually in that Chelsea team to invert. We talk about Reece James, he shouldn't be inverting, Gusto shouldn't invert.
Yeah, well,
Kukurea has done
player,
that. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that he's actually been able to fulfill the role that no one else at Chelsea has been able to do.
Yeah.
How many left backs have been inverting this season that successfully? And look at the goals he's got in the Premier League. How many game-winning goals? True, that's true. But how many game-winning goals has anyone else scored in the season from that position apart from Kukurea?
It's true.
So
it's true.
I don't think it's a bad shout.
No, it's not a bad shout. I feel like it would have been. You guys made Champions League, but I feel like if you guys stayed where you were at the halfway point of the season, when the podcast started, when you guys were fighting for that title, if Kukurea would have been a main factor, maybe he would have had more eyes on him for this team this season.
But you're probably going to base it off the slips he had against Tottenham. That's probably why.
Yeah, but
The two slip. You still won that game, didn't you?
We still did, yeah. He was amazing after that.
But yeah, I mean, look, the overall shout for the table is Milos Kirkers.
Yeah,
And do we do defensive pair together? We'll do both centre backs together. We'll have
I think one
of them should be
Actually, I think
unanimous.
both of them could be
Yeah,
unanimous.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I think both will be I don't know what everyone else put. I put, let me quickly brand. I think it was, guaranteed, VVD and Gabriel.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do it.
What did you guys do?
I went Milinkovic and VVD.
Yeah.
Hey!
What happened?
What?
You're not having one Arsenal centre back in there.
I have your other pictures, other areas, don't worry.
Oh my god.
I can't lie, I went with Milenkovic and Van Dijk as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
That's a disgrace.
Is that a
that's a
disgrace?
disgrace.
I don't think it's a disgrace.
I don't think it's that bad.
That is bad.
I've seen other
It's
people
not.
also put that down as well. But who did you
Yeah,
put?
why is it bad?
And who did you put?
It has to be Gabriel.
And?
VVD.
Okay, there you go.
Well, why did you
Yeah.
act shocked when he said
Yeah,
it?
then why'd you act
Why did you act
shocked
shocked when he said it?
These two.
No. He said it before and you act like,
No. I agree with him.
Why do you like,
How's Gabriel not in there?
Oh, God, actually, Abdul, you... Okay, of course, we have VVD and everyone has VVD.
If anything, right? Gabriel's been as good as Van Dijk this season. As good.
I can argue that. I think I can argue
But
that.
I feel like Milinkovic's involvement, especially because this is his first season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has had a very good impact.
Gabriel's involvement.
Yeah, no, but the
The
expectation.
team, yes, the
of
team,
not
the
going for-
expectations.
Like, let's not forget out. You need to remember, but this team was like what 8? Where were they last season? Like 17, 16.
17th.
17th.
They've gone up the table, and he's been a big part of that. A part with sales.
Oh, come on now.
We're not
please.
saying Gabriel's not in contention.
No, I'm not having that one.
That's fine if you don't
I'm not
have
having
it.
You
that
can
one.
not have
It's
it.
your
That's-
opinion.
No, it's fact.
Well, a lot of people
Oh,
put
well,
Milinkovic.
us two agree.
Gabriel and Van Dijk, you could argue they've both been as good as each other this season. Hence why they're the two obvious shouts. Then it would be Saliba, then it would be Milinkovic, or whoever else you want to put in there. There has to be, the two Arsenal boys are there in contention.
They
It
are.
can't be Milinkovic over Saliba or Gabriel. I'm sorry. I can't believe that.
Oh, go on, Dean. Why do you think that Milinkovic should get in there over Gabriel? Or why do you put him in specifically over Gabriel?
Again, that leading force. As soon as he went out as well, by the way, the impact we saw it. That drop off in the season. Then he came back. Look what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
To be fair, you performed without Gabriel.
Yeah, you've performed without Gabriel.
Okay.
Not at the same level, though. I mean,
Not
you
the same
see-
level,
you
but
see Saliba.
They still won
Okay.
without him against Real Madrid.
Oh,
That's true.
okay.
But
Well,
that
Take
shouldn't-
Milinkovic out of the team,
Well,
innit?
that's-
They're going to start leaking more
What
goals.
is that supposed to prove?
But that shouldn't really define him. For me, Gabriel has been. I mean, of course, you know we always take the piss out of set piece again or day. He's
Yeah, but
been.
we put Sells
great.
in over Ray. He's
But there's
completely
a
less
difference.
goals.
But there's a difference.
No, but I think for
No,
that.
let's not forget, Milinkovic has contributed with goals as well himself.
exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
There's-
Yeah,
Let's not.
There's a difference. Goalkeeper, there's two shouts and that's it. No one else you can say.
Yeah.
Centre back, there's 4 or 5 good options, and you have to pick the 2 best,
This season.
which
Exactly.
are Gabriel
And
Virgil van
me
Dijk.
and Dean chose Virgil van Dijk, which is a
Oh.
unanimous decision from everyone.
Oh,
then
really?
we chose
man?
Milinkovic.
Well, okay, cool. The centre backs are Gabriel and Van Dijk.
They're not.
Yes,
We'll leave it
they
up to the
are.
comments.
Even it is a draw.
We'll
We
leave it
can't
up to the
really-
comments.
But look, we didn't
No,
mention.
we'll involve the producer.
He's
No,
going to
no,
be
no,
biased.
no, no.
I meant the producer.
Yes, sir.
Gabriel and Van Dijk or Milinkovic and Van Dijk.
Gabriel Van Dijk.
There you go. There you go. There
Who
you go.
asked an Arsenal fan?
No. He's
Let me
neutral.
find a Nottingham
He's a
Forest fan,
neutral.
innit, and ask them, innit?
Alright.
Let me find a Nottingham Forest fan.
We'll leave it to the comments for this one. But look, actually, let's talk about Van Dijk. I mean, we all have him in here as like a shoe-in for us. Why is it, Avid? Why do you think Van Dijk is in all of our centre partnerships?
I mean, just topping everything he does. You know what I mean? No one can get close to him. Perfect in almost everything. And he's just a class above every season.
Yeah.
Most seasons.
Yeah, and do you think it's very important that Liverpool did seal him down to that another contract to keep him here for next season at least?
Yeah. That being said, he's got away with a lot of fouls this season.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah.
of dubious,
Yeah.
kind of things. So I think
Milinkovic doesn't do it.
'cause he doesn't have the guts to do it.
Are you Serbian,
Yeah.
mate? Don't worry about that.
Listen, I think Van Dijk is brilliant. A lot of it does have to do with his aura.
Yeah.
Or a defendant.
But I think to get that aura, you have to have everyone's
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Every striker's
Yeah.
respect. Every
Yeah.
striker, if you're preparing for a Liverpool game, you know, how am I going to get past him? How am I going to outdo him?
That's
Of
true.
course, players have done it. Isak, of course, has done it. And got score a great goal on him as well. But majority of the season, many strikers, you know,
It's true.
all struggle
Yeah, it's
against
true.
Virgil van Dijk.
And plus, winning the league, that's obviously going to boost
Of course.
your
Yeah,
rank.
yeah.
So
So
Yeah, that's
Gabriel
about that.
and Virgil van Dijk, and I think we move on to right back.
Okay, well, we do.
I'm putting a veto down. Yeah, I'm using my veto.
I'm not that passionate about it anyway. Like, if you want Gabriel, you can, because it's a good debate, like idea to
Yeah.
put him in. I'm not.
I mean, you can
against
go with
it.
anyone.
Yeah.
As you said, there's 4 or 5
Yeah.
options.
No,
Look,
there's-
we'll let
There
the
you go.
comments
There's 4 or
get to it.
5
We'll let the
options.
comments.
You'll find
As
a lot
he
of
said
people say
himself,
Milinkovic
4 or
should be
5
in there.
options, innit? So it's whatever you want to go with.
You're just ignoring the part where I said you picked the 2 best.
Yeah, and I did.
Alright, okay.
All right, go on then. So, right back.
Simple.
There's not many options.
Simple.
I don't know what you're putting down.
Should we just move on?
I'm scared who you're putting down.
Simple.
I want to hear who you have first.
Simple. The best right back in the league. Now that Trent's gone.
That we have to
Oh,
include,
Timber.
we have to include Trent. though.
Yuri and Timber.
Yeah, but no, wait. Trent's still here, so you can't.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still Timber. It's still Timber.
No, but you can't
I-
say just because you're leaving it. He's still
How
in the
many
thing.
how many left wingers this season have Arsenal conceded to?
That's true. You're right. Timber has been very good. Okay.
We don't have
Son
that
was
for
one of them, but that was from a corner. You know, the one where they headed it and
Yeah,
one
it,
was
like,
trying to
bounces out,
That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
from Timber's fault. Pedro Neto, did he play left wing against us?
Yeah, but the goal came from inverting
Exactly.
into the middle of the
Exactly.
pitch anyway.
I am not scared of any winger when it comes to Yuri and Timber. Any.
Nah, you're true. That's 100%. But who do you have, Dean?
There's some other shouts.
No, Timber for me as well.
Oh, do you have Tim as well? Who do you
Yeah,
have?
Timber.
Isn't Ole Einar in the shout?
Oh, come on, man.
I just watched him today.
That's the hipster vote. man.
That he was trash today.
I put Trent in my team. For me,
Me, I'll go with Timber.
what the hell? You just said Ole Einar.
No, I said I didn't say Ole. No. I brought up a player.
brought up the
I just
player.
brought up a player
Yeah.
as he brought up Trent.
Okay.
As he said, multiple options. We choose the best one.
Okay. But
No, go on, give your defense.
Honestly, I just
For me-
gave up some players.
I mean, for me, Trent was a main part. He's been a main part at Liverpool for a while now, of course. And of course, the whole thing, the debate, the whole season for Liverpool specifically was, can we keep Trent, Van Dijk, Salah? And out of the three, well, out of everyone in that squad, you could tell how much they prioritize Trent. And for me, I feel like the fact that they have such a generational player in terms of that position, to be able to create chances from anywhere, have that same quality of pass as a midfielder would do from right back, and it just adds that extra, like, threat for a player. Like we talked about PSG, how they have threats in their fullback position and they've made the Champions League final. Same thing for Trent, I think, for Liverpool for so long. Of course, this season, well, at the end of the season, it felt a very salty, thing from Liverpool fans. But of course, he's moved on to. There's a reason why he's going Real Madrid.
Of course.
And it's cause he's that good.
He is, I agree with you, but look, I think a lot of Liverpool games he's kind of been carried.
Yeah,
Yeah,
game by
that's true.
game, I
With
believe
Timber,
Timber.
he
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
important, a stalwart. I love Trent, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
but I watch a lot. I mean, I watch most Liverpool games. It's not every game where I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, Trent.
100%, you're right.
He'll have moments.
He's also been
certain
injured
situations-
as well for a large portion.
Yeah.
Hasn't
Sensational.
Timber been out for a bit this season as well?
No.
No.
Oh, and can we also include that Timber's come back from an ACL, 8 months out. This is his first proper season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The
Yeah.
amount
true.
that he's played this much minutes itself is incredible.
Was that supposed to be his natural position as well? Like when he first
yes.
joined, was he supposed
Yeah.
to play there?
He was.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I mean,
That's another thing you have to
every time
consider.
I do watch Arsenal, especially since I think he's got a new sense of appreciation from Arsenal fans, from Premier League
No,
fans
not
as well.
Arsenal, we loved him. But,
But I'm saying
Premier
Premier League until
Yeah.
not just of course you guys loved him. Of course he's been out. You guys been waiting for him this whole time. You've been waiting for him. And of course now he's come. He's performed so well, especially like the Real Madrid game. I think opened a lot of people's eyes. The Real Madrid game, and I mean you are right. He has locked up many time wingers this season, and I mean if you choose Timber, I'm not gonna blame you. But Abdul's shout of Ole Einar, I'm not saying it's the right shout because for me it wasn't, but it is an interesting shout. The same way we talk about Sells, Ole Einar has locked up a lot of wingers as
Yeah,
well on
yes,
his side.
yes.
He's been very, very good defensively and been a big part of their defensive structure. Come on. You don't believe it?
Wishy-washy.
And goals and assists.
Really? Yeah, again, he
I
has
think
got
it's
some
a
goals and
hipster
assists.
vote.
What does that mean?
I think it's just let's be like, let's be niche, let's be cool.
You don't think Ole Einar is a good player to pick? He's been
good,
very
but
good though, no?
Nah, I wouldn't pick him over Trent. I wouldn't pick him over Timber.
But
Really?
again, 4 or 5 options, you choose the best one.
No, there's 2 options in right back.
Why is there only 2 at right back?
Trent and Timber.
Who decides that?
Who decides it?
Who?
Who decides that there's only 2 options and then
The
there's
Premier
5?
League.
Okay.
thought you were against the
I mean,
Premier
he's
League.
been very good. Don't you not think? Come on, give him a bit of credit.
Yeah.
I don't know about Big Six. Has he had that same threat as well? I don't know.
I mean, he locked up a Doku, so.
Who?
Locked Doku.
No,
Doku.
defensively, of course.
Yeah, but that's not hard, because Doku can't dribble past anyone.
No,
That's
he
not
can't.
fair.
No, he can. He can do it. He can do it. Actually, that's not. You know what I
He
mean?
did
No,
on
no,
Trent.
okay,
Right.
I'm being a bit disingenuous. Ole Einar's had a brilliant season, but I think again, like, I don't know. I think some Nottingham Forest players have been a little bit overrated. I think by this.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, what if they made the Champions League? That would have been a very
They
big
did
different
it.
effort.
No,
That's
they
right.
did.
You're right.
They did.
They did.
Yeah.
But they still made European football.
They did.
They did.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you're third, fourth the whole year, I don't care if you're Southampton. It's a failure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is true. They
That's
had,
a ball
uh,
job, not
I-
a failure.
It is a.
It's not a failure, it's a ball
Ball
job.
job is a failure.
No, but for them
No,
though,
ball
for
job-
them.
No,
if
but
we-
for
if
them.
we look at
No,
the context, come
no,
on.
no,
Well,
no, I'm
Let's
sorry.
be real, they weren't going to sustain it.
No. In a 38
The
game,
football that they played, they were never going to sustain being in
Yeah.
they
that.
did though.
But not forever. It was going to happen. The same way Bournemouth have burnt out with the way
No,
that they
but-
play.
Their one came later.
No, but Bournemouth play a completely different way too.
No, but they,
Forest.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like the high tempo football that Bournemouth play, eventually their players are going to tire out.
Look, I think look. 38 game week season. How many of those weeks were Nottingham Forest in the driving seat for Champions
That's
League?
true. That's true.
But a lot
It's
of
a
teams on the
failure.
driving seat.
It's a failure.
A lot of teams on the driving seat.
No, they weren't.
Chelsea
But
were.
it's
They were
separated
third.
by, like,
they
yeah.
dropped down to fifth.
Exactly. And when they were in the driving seat, Forest were in the driving seat. When City were in the driving seat, Forest are in the
Newcastle
Champions League.
there.
When Newcastle
Yeah,
in the
but
Champions
if we
League,
look at the
Forest.
Bournemouth
yeah,
are
it's
there?
like they're 7th, but it's only like by 2 points. 2 points separates
Still.
it.
It's a failure, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it's very harsh.
Nah, man. Nah,
Thing.
less of that, man. This is.
Really?
I think this is babying football, you know? Nah.
I don't know.
If I was a Forest fan, I'd be fuming.
Oh, you would be fuming.
Of course you
100%.
would be fuming, but
Yeah, but a failure is a whole different
But after
meaning.
maybe a few like days, weeks, and you realize what's coming next season, you'll be playing Conference League football.
they have a good
When
chance
you-
of winning that as
when
well.
When you thought you weren't
Yeah,
gonna
but
even make it out,
you're
you
saying it
didn't
from
even
an
know.
Arsenal perspective.
I'm not.
These guys have faced relegation
They,
battles.
they had point deduction last season
exactly.
for like breaking. Yeah,
They would not have expected to be in European positions.
Exactly.
Their fans would not have believed.
It's not
they'd be
Europe,
close.
it's like.
and
It's
would
like
you
the
want
AI
for that
version of
minute?
it.
Obviously,
Nah,
playing
but
Champions League
still.
football is better, right? But participating and having a chance of winning
Cannot
the
be
thing
deemed a
are two different
failure.
things.
No, I mean,
Failure
I think
is
it's
the whole
a
different
Okay, go on.
thing.
Alright, cool. We've done the defense. All right. Now I think we should do the three midfielders together.
Are we
yes.
having a 10 in there or no?
You can do whatever.
You can do whatever you want. It's
can do whatever you want,
midfielders.
mate.
Left means right means count, by the way.
Alright.
Whoa,
Yes.
whoa! What are you doing?
They're
mate?
midfielders.
Let him do
Okay.
this. Should we go around the table or?
Yeah, go on.
Just list all three.
Yes, I'll list my three.
Alright.
Do we
I had-
pull up the cards?
Okay. We don't have the budget for that yet. Can't
Oh,
be.
sorry.
Paper's expensive. I got Mcallister, Gravenberch, and Rice. That's
Go
my
on.
three.
Can you come back to me?
Okay.
Okay, what the hell does that
So I
mean?
need to,
Yeah,
I need to look in
okay.
it.
Mcallister, Tonali, and then Caicedo.
And
To
then,
come to me?
You failed.
Oh wait, no,
to me?
not Tonali. Sorry, Gravenberch. Why did I say
oh,
Tonali?
yeah.
It was
Wait, so yours is sorry, who's it?
So Mcallister, Gravenberch, Caicedo.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And then
Mcallister, Rice, and Caicedo.
That's the midfield there. That's the midfield I've gone for.
Oh.
McAllister, Caicedo, Declan Rice.
Alright. I mean, what? So we all have McAllister in, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can talk about him first. And I mean, McAllister. Actually, no. Would you actually?
We'll
me-
talk about
Yeah,
Maka,
McAllister.
We'll talk about Maka first.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
Mcallister
we'll
in
talk
there.
about
I mean, for me, I chose him because of both of them, Maka and Gravenberch. They both. Whenever I watch Liverpool, man,
Yeah, that
I
connection,
appreciate.
yeah.
You know what it is? Yeah, I really like a midfield three when they are able to play like together. Like I don't know how it works. Like when they fit each other, complement each other, if that's the right word. Like the Newcastle midfield three we're talking about when they were on that Carabao Cup run. Them three, you know, they're brutes. They got some technical ability, but also they are, like Avid likes to use the word thugs.
Yeah,
so
they're
you know what I'm
thugs,
saying?
they're thugs.
But they all-
F-U-G-S, thugs. Yeah? You gotta make it a bit
But that's what I'm
gritty.
saying. Though they have that physical strength, they have
Yeah.
that way to dominate midfield,
Yeah.
cause problems for any midfield, whether they're technical or not, because they just have that brute physicality. And the midfield of Mcallister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, which I'm not including, them two specifically have got that technical ability that, I mean,
Allows them to be like very aggressive
Exactly.
and rough, but then also
I feel like
take
they
that
got a
ball
bit of
and
both.
drive.
They got a
Yeah.
bit of both.
That's what makes them so
and they're
good.
so good. And when a midfield three, like the Xavi and Iniesta Busquets, of course not comparing, but they were complementing each other. I'm not,
Yeah,
calm
no,
down,
no,
alright?
no, no.
It's like a midfield three that complement each other, just, it's something I
Yeah,
adore a lot, if you
yeah.
know what I mean. And them three, including Rice, you know, you can talk about Rice.
No. I remember, you know, when Liverpool bought McAllister for 35 million, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of criticism. You know, there's a lot of, who's this player? 35 million. He
From
must
who?
not be good.
From who?
Yeah, if you go on
No,
it,
and the
yeah.
thing, no, there was, compared
There
to the
was.
Caicedo specifically, compared to the money that Caicedo...
There was.
Yeah.
There was.
What?
There was.
There was.
McAllister
Mcallister had
What, from
become an
Liverpool
established
fans?
player in the
No,
Premier
no.
League.
For Liverpool
No,
fans.
just
No,
on
but
social
no,
media.
but
There was.
There was, but I'm saying...
I remember.
Yeah, no, there was.
I was there.
I don't remember that.
I was there. This guy is a sensational player. He can do absolutely
This is
anything.
after he won a World Cup, right?
When he joined Liverpool, which was last season.
So he'd already won a World Cup. Why would people be doubting this signing? What?
He was very good for Brighton as
No,
well.
no,
That was his
Yeah,
breakout
no,
and,
season.
no, no,
and
listen,
35 mil
listen.
was seen as a steal.
No,
That's a
it
steal.
wasn't though. That's the thing.
Who said it wasn't a
was.
steal?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Nah, at the
Don't
time,
do
at the time,
revisionism,
at the
please.
time,
I didn't say it wasn't
Yeah,
a
no,
steal.
look, at the time, it wasn't like they didn't know who he was. It was more like they didn't expect him to be this good.
Listen,
Well, yeah, I know,
listen.
but-
Most Liverpool signings, they're clowned on. They are. It's a fact. They are. They are.
But that doesn't mean Mcallister wasn't
He
rated.
was.
Nah, he was.
I remember this.
He was.
I actually remember
No, he
this.
was. 100%. There was.
I don't
he
know.
I
was.
personally.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
remember this.
I remember this.
Nah, it was.
Did
Nah,
Did you
there was,
see me personally do it?
Who's your-
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
not talking about you.
Yeah, we're talking about in
We're
general.
talking
in
about
general.
us.
I
No.
remember this. I remember the conversation.
You're
I
going
remember
land.
reading the threads. I remember this and that.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
Let him
fine.
land. Let him land.
I
This-
don't
this is-
know. It's fine. Just it's
Go on,
about
land,
him
land,
this
land,
season
land.
anyway. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, obviously World Cup winner, assisted the goal in the final, and then I'm just going back to the Premier League now. This guy is sensational. can do anything. He played 6 last season a few times. Wasn't really that good, but he can do it. He can play 10, he can play 8. He's a link in the midfield. He can do everything you want. This guy is a sensational player. Bought for 35 million. When there was a stick, I need Liverpool. We need Liverpool fan on here.
No, there was stick. 100%.
And now, how much is he worth? Probably 150 mil.
Yeah,
This is
ridiculous.
This is a top 3, top 4, top 5 midfielder in the Premier League. It's a sensational player. Yeah, I think all the things on Gravenberch, it should be on Mcallister. I think in my opinion, Mcallister is the most underrated player in the Premier League.
Right, I mean, I think we should move on also to another player that most of us have, except for Dean. No, Dean has Gravenberch. You know, well, us we have Rice, right? Us we have Rice. Yeah?
Do you have Rice?
Yeah, of course.
No, I have Gravenberch.
So go on.
You say him off.
No, I'm not gonna. You guys can speak about Rice.
I mean, look, he's been important. We've given his praises majority of the season already, and
I think this new role suits him.
yeah, I think that is what unlocked him. I think this season it was something that was bound to happen. It was something that was being discussed for a long time, and we've seen glimpses of it even when he was supposed to be playing 6, when Jorginho was playing in that 6, and when Partey was playing in that 6, when Rice would normally be the 6, but because of other injuries or whatever, they just haven't played him in the 8 basically until now when he's been the outright 8. The first name in the 8 position would be Rice, and the running, the ball carrying. As we said against the Real Madrid game, we've seen the quality. Of course, in our Champions League segment, but the Champions League counts for this. For this specific player, it counts. And
Okay, why does it count?
Because
It's
that's
Champions
that's,
League.
of course, okay.
We're talking about the season. We're
We're talking about the season. We're talking about the season. But I'm saying,
It's Premier League
How-
team
wait,
season.
wait,
yeah,
what?
but okay,
Sorry,
but he's still been good. And I'm saying,
No, I
saying
know,
in terms of
understand,
special.
but you can't just say it.
No,
we're
sorry.
gonna count this player.
How do you not have? Why do you not have Rice in your team this season?
Gravenberch PL winner. That's my main reason for it.
What
okay,
about
so who's your midfield again?
Caicedo. I think Caicedo has been better than Rice in the Prem this season.
Oh, come
Then
on.
Gravenberch.
Well, let him put his reason.
I mean,
Go on.
Gravenberch was most improved.
Why do you think Caicedo?
He was the most
Why do you
improved.
think Caicedo does pip you for Rice technically in your position?
I think for a player that is considered
most
considered a flop.
expensive midfielder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, how many times? did you keep saying this?
Wait. Let him land. Go on, play.
Sorry.
This player every single game like this season. Okay, you can name a couple of them maybe, but generally speaking, this guy has carried the club. Like if we're talking during the bad run of games, the good running. I don't know why you're doing this because Rice, you're
I'm
gonna
not
say the
saying
same
anything.
thing.
I'm not saying anything.
You're gonna say the same thing for
I'm
Rice.
not saying anything.
So
Land.
it's the ball carrying, everything, the tackling, the aggression that he puts in. And I know you can say maybe he gets that name like shin kicker and stuff like that. I've heard this name, but
I think maybe did he end up as the most found?
he's probably committed the most fouls. Yeah, and I understand as a general fan of the game, it's annoying to watch, but when you're a Chelsea fan, it makes sense because that you love the player even more because it's a part of the game. Like if we were to then say aggressive players should always be like hated on. Then what about players like Gattuso on that? They would never have been rated. So that part of the dirty game for Caicedo for me is good as well. But yeah, I think the whole season throughout, like even in this bad run of games, in this clutch run of games that we needed to win all our games, he's been there. He has been there. When he came up against Liverpool as well, against them, I know it wasn't the same midfield, but big games, small games, he's been there. So for me, it has to be Caicedo.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
He's
it's
one
a
of
long
the
time.
I
highest
understand.
winning the ball back.
I understand in
Yeah.
the Champions League you're gonna have Rice and the
Yeah,
stuff like that,
yeah.
of course. So I'm not saying overall who's the better player, the same. But in the Premier League, if we look at the 38 game match day, every week that's been happening, it has to be Caicedo.
I
He
mean,
finished 4th. So David Delap was the most found.
what?
Most fouling player.
Oh,
Yeah.
but for me,
fouling or foul?
Fouling.
As in commits the foul.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for me it was Rice. I mean, for me, you're right. I think both of them have been very consistent over the 38 game season. But for me, not even just the importance of Rice. I feel like I don't know. For me, just watching Rice, the way he's played, how well he's been able to play for us, and how important he's been for the title race for the season. I think he's been a big contributor for that. And I mean, we might as well also mention. Do we mention Gravenberch? We haven't mentioned Gravenberch too much. Do you want to have a word about Gravenberch, everyone?
G2.
Didn't you have it, man?
Yeah. Do you?
I had
I
Rice,
don't- I
Caicedo,
don't-
Mcallister.
Oh, so wait, you had
Same
the
as him,
Caicedo.
same as
Oh,
him.
so
Well,
you have 3 people Caicedo.
Well, for the reason for Gravenberch would say is that his change in position, probably the biggest clutch factor off his Salah, but there's in the midfield. That was the key that probably switched Liverpool to make them become like a Premier League winner this season, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, I think again for me that partnership with Mcallister,
Yeah.
they just bring the good balance, and I think Gravenberch. How do I even say it? The improvement, the way he's able to dictate play from that midfield, I think has been very key for them this season. What don't you think that? Why did you guys not have Gravenberch?
Because the other three were better.
I was
No, I'm just asking.
Who had the better season, Caicedo or Gravenberch?
Probably Gravenberch.
God,
You don't think it?
I don't think so.
Why? So why do you think that? Why do you
I
think
think
not?
Caicedo's had a better season.
I think Gravenberch is slightly tailed off from what
That
he was
is
doing in the
true.
first half of the
Yeah,
season.
it's a
to the
little,
second
but-
half.
He's had
True.
a. I mean, oh no, actually, yeah, no.
What?
No, I mean he doesn't have Rice in there, so he probably thinks Caicedo's had a better season than Rice.
In the Prem, not overall. Like Champions League, obviously, is not going to compare Conference League stuff like that.
Look, each their
Oh,
own.
right.
Everyone has their opinion, but I mean that means our table midfield is Mcallister, Rice, and Caicedo.
That is, I think that's the three.
You think?
Yeah.
All right. Right winger time. I think this one is easy. Do we even really need to talk too much about the right winger?
Bukayo Saka?
Unless Abid has anything else. Do you have any slips in here?
Huh?
Do you have any slips in here?
Nah.
Yeah, you have Salah?
Yeah, of course.
Just making sure. Just making
Of
sure.
course.
So yeah, of course, Mo Salah scored again today, and of course, unfortunately finishes off
Yes.
one off the goal and assist record.
2-2.
No,
Oh, yeah,
one
goal
because
assist,
of today.
yeah.
Goal assist, and of course 2 off the assist record, which me and Abid are happy about.
Yep.
Keep to the 2 goals. Anyway, but yeah, Salah, you know what Salah is about. We don't need to talk too much even about Salah. I mean,
Ballon d'Or. Watch this Rio say that clip. It's just Ballon d'Or.
it's just
Yeah,
Ballon
this
d'Or.
is
Yeah, it's just
Ballon
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Well, of course, I mean, the Prem's Ballon d'Or contender. And, yeah, I mean, it's down in all season. Of course, Liverpool tied him down to
Two-year deal.
a contract, of course. And could be a stalwart for next season as well, especially with the additions coming in next season. I mean, Abdul, do you have any words for your rival winger? You must be slightly upset that he's doing so well.
Not really, because since he's been in the Prem, he's been doing this. But you'd say this season he's taken up to another level.
Yeah, 100%. And it's even at this age as well, the fact that he's able to still put defenses to shame and just score goals in any place, anytime, anywhere.
I'm more scared about their signings for next season.
Yeah, we don't need to mention. I don't want to talk about it today. We're not talking about it today, all right? We'll leave that
Lord,
for another
help
video.
us all.
Yeah.
Help us
That's
all,
crazy,
please.
no? But we'll leave that for
Nah,
another-
what they're doing, I mean, that shows you how serious of a club they are
for me,
wanting to retain.
Okay, go on. Look, we'll move on to strikers. There is one option, but I've done something slightly different because another position is trash. So, who's your
Oh, he's
striker?
got 2 strikers.
Yeah, Isak.
He's put 2 strikers.
Isak.
It's Isak.
Isak.
Okay,
Oh,
wait.
Isak.
Wait. All right.
Your brother. Without the H.
Okay, look. I have put 2 strikers in. Okay, I put both of them. Understand?
Okay.
So for me, in this strike position, because there's no left winger, I put Chris Wood in there. Okay. Understand the question. Okay. I understand. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Now talk about Isak. Now.
That's what? That's fine.
All right, go on.
If
Yes,
you
go
want a
on.
bit of wood in your team, it's fine.
Okay.
That's completely
Go on, you
fine.
guys can talk about Isak. Go on. You guys had Isak first. You guys can talk about Isak. How good has he been this season? For Newcastle, especially now they've confirmed.
He was kind of
Champions
crap
League
against us, to
qualification.
be fair.
when did you play them?
Like a few days ago, a few matches ago.
But yeah, go on.
He was doing a
Overall,
sabotage job.
oh.
Yeah.
He did it today as well.
But yeah, go
No,
on.
he has to go in. Yeah, he has to go in.
I
probably.
mean, why? Why is it?
His general Big 6 game record is incredible.
Yep.
I think what you want in a striker, he is the perfect package. And how many defenders has he put on toast this season? That
Yeah.
some of the best that we talk about, like the.
Don't even
Gabriel
mention any
Silva.
names.
No, we
so.
will. We will
All
mention
right,
them.
cool. Yeah, cool.
We'll mention-
Van Dijk, yeah. So there we go. Moving on.
Is there any other?
No, Van Dijk.
But yeah, no, 100%. I mean, Isak has, cooked defenses. And look, Abid did say before, you think that he's the best striker in the world, so... Do
No,
you
he
think
said
the
the
Prem-
Prem.
He did say
He
that.
did say that?
He did
After
say
your
that.
career, no, I'm joking. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah,
I mean, why do you
yeah.
think he's the best striker in the world?
Sensational, man. This guy can lead a front line. Led Newcastle to their first trophy in 70 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scored against Liverpool.
Yep.
In that final.
And in the league.
Spun Van Dijk.
Mm.
Spun a few other elite defenders, but we don't need to mention that because the season's done now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not have PR.
Alright.
Van Dijk.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you know, look, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can hold up play, he can pass, everything. He's got the full package.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And he has the records
And
this
look-
season as well to back
Yeah.
up being the best striker. in the
and last
league.
season, I think he scored 17 or 18.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
better
That's-
this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, look, of course, I need to explain why I chose Chris Wood. And look, of course, I got Isak at left wing, alright? I'll give a spoiler early. Isak's gone left wing for me, alright? Because I didn't want to put anyone else there.
Wow.
But I want to mention Chris Wood, alright? For me, I really appreciate what Chris Wood does, alright? You have to understand. Of course, Nottingham Forest have tailed off. And, Avid is very upset that they tailed off.
No, I couldn't care.
Okay, you've been very harsh on them tailing off.
I'm just a big Chris Wood critic.
Okay. But look, I think that he's been very good for them specifically in their system, in the way they play. He's actually the 4th most clinical finisher in the entire of the top 5 leagues. All right.
Oh wow.
For Nottingham Forest, all right. So, but you know what that tells us? That he's a clinical striker. If he doesn't get a lot of chances,
Couldn't do against City in 23-24 season at the Forest City.
Oh, that's where the hate
that's
starts.
That's
That's
also
where the
why
hate
I
starts.
have him in here as well, because he saved us this season as well. But look, he's blue. Anyway,
lost today actually as well.
Yeah.
Good striker.
Yeah.
He's a good striker.
I'm sorry, you can't. You have to score that one.
Yeah, no.
That's why.
He had two by the way.
This guy exists to haunt me. So I'm gonna do everything I can to tear his reputation.
but look,
down.
for me, for the amount of chances they do create, of course, we know that they sit back, they defend. But as soon as they're on the break, Chris Wood, any cross that Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, whoever puts in, he's always at the end of them, except for C. But
you're
he's
right,
always
like,
there.
he's that
Against
threat.
Liverpool
He's
this
that
season.
threat, huh?
Against
He's that
Liverpool this
threat.
season, he missed as well.
Oh, yeah, he did miss as well. But look, he's just there.
Arsenal.
He's always there. If he's not playing against anyone that affects Arsenal, he's a great player. He's a great striker. And I think that for me, I have to mention, for how well they've done, of course, the major European football, they've tailed off at the end. But Chris Wood, the chances that he gets, look, every striker complains that they don't get chances. But it's about when you get them, how clinical you are.
Can I
from
ask,
there.
why don't you want a left winger in your team? So why Wood over
The only
left winger?
person that... It's because I want to have both Isak and Wood in the team. And the
Yeah,
only other
fair.
person that... I mean, maybe you guys have him. We'll move to the left wing. Do you guys have Brian Mbuemo in there?
Brandon Mbuemo. Kinder Mbuemo. He has
I'm
had
not
a.
gonna spoil it.
I mean, what
Who
do you
is
mean?
he?
We're on left wing now.
There's no way he's put Saka on
Oh,
there.
we're on left wing.
We're not fair.
Okay, cool.
Who have you put?
His first name starts with a B. Plays for a London club.
Okay.
Plays in red and white.
All right.
We know where you're going, alright.
Yeah, it's Mbuemo. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian
I think he's had a.
I mean,
He's more than Chris Wood.
He had 20
Well,
goals. He hit
yeah,
20 goals today. He hit
yeah,
20.
That's
That's
crazy.
incredible.
It's gone
For
under
a Brentford
the
team.
radar.
Yeah.
You put it under the radar.
I need to
Yeah.
mention Nottingham Forest. Okay, I need to mention Chris Wood for me. But go on. Why do you think Brian Webber should?
For the way they play, it's very clutch, like what he does, because he's the one that initiates those attacks in those transitions, and he's very clinical a lot of the time.
Filled in the big boots as well.
Yeah, and what's his assist number as well?
It's
It's
high.
12. Isn't it 12?
It's 12.
I swear it's 12.
We can fact check,
But
but
with
that-
him,
Yeah,
ever since they've been promoted up to the Premier League, the spotlight has always been on Ivan Toney.
yeah.
And then
For him to come in and just
when Ivan Toney was suspended for, was it a month? No, not a month. It's a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Not
A
a
year.
month.
So basically the whole of
Yeah.
last season,
yeah,
you saw him and Visser step up. But this season he's stepped
It's
up
another
even
level,
more.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
become the main player. He's good at penalties. He's good at assisting. He's good at taking on a player. And he's had an unbelievable season for a Brentford player.
And what's interesting about Mbuemo is he is one of the most isolated wingers in the Premier League, which means that he's on his own a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
he is,
Yeah.
yeah.
a lot of 1v1s for him to deal
Yeah,
with.
so that's very.
And that's what I
impressive.
was mentioning, like how clutch it is what he does for Brentford. So
Yeah,
Very
also-
effective at what he does.
Also, yeah, he had
Yeah.
7 assists this season in the league.
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
impressive.
That's still very
good
impressive,
you say
100%.
that, yeah, 20
20
goals,
goals,
7
7 assists
yeah,
for
that's
Brentford.
27
side.
goal contributions. Very
And
good.
I mean, look, is he not bound? I mean, of course, for
He
his
is.
goal contributions for his effectiveness
gets
in the
him?
game, is he not bound to move? Would you want him?
Would you want him
take
on the left?
Yeah. No, I'll take him for cover for Saka.
Oh, I don't think he would do that. There are a few. I think AC Milan linked to him as well, so he could
No,
be bound
we're
to
not.
Serie A.
Palm in the middle.
All right,
Okay.
we're not gonna get.
I'll take him.
Doesn't fit
Really?
our policy.
Yeah, he wouldn't take United though, wait.
We'll see about that, won't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
We'll see
Where
about
do you
that,
fit?
won't we?
Right 10.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty interesting. But I mean, he's,
Why not?
That's a
he's,
waste.
He's
How's
linked
that
to,
waste?
He's linked to AC Milan, so.
If he had a fresh trim, he would have got a team of the season card
Okay.
on FIFA. I'm telling you, or EA. But,
I think if he was still French, he'll be a bit more rated.
yeah, French and
Did you not keep his nationality?
Nah.
No, he switched to
It's
Cameroon.
Ah, yeah, there's no way. Then.
So yeah, I mean that means our end of the season, team of the season for the Premier League has Sales in goal, Kirkers at left back,
One of the centre backs. is up for
VVD
debate.
plus
Gabriel.
whoever.
Whoever.
You can do a
Gabriel.
slash, Gabriel.
Slash,
Gabriel.
yeah.
Gabriel.
They can hold the
Yeah.
trophy together.
Gabriel.
Okay.
Usually.
They can hold it
And then,
together.
we have what? Trent? No, Timber right
Timber
back.
right back.
Then we have your midfield, which was
Mcallister, Rice, and Caicedo.
Oh, no, our midfield, isn't it?
Yeah, Mcallister, Rice, Caicedo.
Yes,
and you have Salah,
Isak.
and Mbuemo.
Yeah.
That's a naughty team. It's a very good
But
team.
who's the manager of the season?
No. Do you want to go for that first?
Yeah.
Don't go for that this
Who's
season.
going to manage this team
There's a lot of candidates.
to glory?
For me, there was only one man. Arne Slot.
Who's your one?
Why the suspense? Can't me just say it.
What?
Amram?
Well,
No.
okay.
Manager of the season. I mean, you're basing off because Liverpool won the league.
Not just that.
What else then?
Because he's won the league.
Is that what I just
But
said?
in his first season. Next.
Again, that's what I just said.
Yeah, next.
Mcallister, would you not put him up?
I'm asking what your one is. Why are you questioning
Yeah,
everyone
I don't have a manager of the season. I
What
don't.
the hell?
else's? You choose one.
I think Eddie Howe's done a good job.
What the hell is this?
He did.
We asked you for one name. Can you put a name out?
So for all of this,
I'll
no
go. With,
Nuno then?
I'll go with Eddie Howe.
Okay.
Okay.
It was between Nuno and Slot, probably. I think that was most people's
So, and who
ideas.
have you chosen?
I go with Slot.
And who did you choose, David?
Eddie Howe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, go on. Actually, I'll talk about Slot first,
Okay.
alright? For me, he's won the league in his first season. In a team that not everyone predicted to finish to win the league. And
No signings, really.
yeah,
No
and
real
again,
signings.
he only got Caicedo, who he barely used, which confuses me, but yeah, he barely used Caicedo. And
Good squad already though.
yeah, of course,
Yes.
but it's still very impressive. Still win the league in your first season. Not many managers have done it in the Premier League.
And if we remember his record back in, I think, January, wherever it was, like they
They
hadn't
lost
lost.
once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they only lost
They
to
hadn't
one.
lost.
Only once, yeah.
At home.
They
Was it all-
basically
yeah,
had
no.
maximum points,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
only, I think...
Beat Real
he-
Madrid.
Yeah.
Leverkusen. All of these teams.
And I mean, look, he could have been on for a very tremendous season in the Champions League as well if he just beat PSG. But I mean, look, in the Premier League specifically, if we look at that, I think for him to win with this squad, to the way he's utilised that midfield, revived Gravenberch, with the way he's played Salah in that, wide right, keeping up there, I feel
No
like he's
obvious
used.
striker, right?
Yeah,
We all complain
again,
about our
he's not playing
strikers.
without the
They don't really
striker.
have an obvious striker.
So
And they
look,
did.
for me to win the league in the first season, I felt like it was only fair to give him the manager of the season for me. Go
Yeah.
on, you guys can talk about.
Who was yours again? Oh, Nuno.
Oh, Slot.
No,
Slot.
Slot,
I was saying
Slot.
he could have
Oh,
put Nuno, but
okay.
I go with Slot. Why Eddie Howe?
He's done even more impressive than Slot, in my opinion, which is win Newcastle, their first trophy in 70 years.
Premier League.
In his Premier League.
Okay, yep, they're a Premier League team that beat Slot's Liverpool in the
That's true.
in the English competition,
That one's fair,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
fair. Go
guess.
on, go on.
Yeah.
adjacent to the Premier League.
Does that mean we got 4?
And they did it by beating you
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And I'm
Four
sorry,
trophies,
we're talking about.
They beat a lot of good teams on the way to that as well,
Yes, they did.
which
They
is
did.
Yeah, they did. They did.
very impressive.
We're talking
Yeah.
about Slot and the squad he inherited, which I think that's a bit debatable. Very debatable, actually. Not a bit, very
What do
debatable.
you mean? About what?
Well, let me just talk on Eddie.
Eddie Howe
Oh,
squad,
okay,
yeah.
go on.
They, for this Saudi investment,
Yeah.
where's the investment?
Yeah.
100%.
It's because
They have a lot of, you could even argue, are they championship worthy players? They have a lot of players from this squad that have been here for years
Yep.
that aren't deemed good enough. You're talking about his revived careers. So is he. Let's talk about Jacob Murphy this season, for example.
That's true.
Very, very
Fantastic.
Dan Burn's been very good.
Lewis Hall,
Yep.
was a prospect at Chelsea. Didn't kind of
Make up.
light up after that. Came to Newcastle, doing brilliant this season.
Yep.
Tino, brilliant. Isak managed to make him, back to back, 18, 19 goals. Joe Linton,
Anthony Gordon.
who's a thug, but
St. James is now a fortress. You can say that.
St.
as well.
James is a fortress.
Tonali?
Yeah, Anthony Gordon, Tonali.
Yeah, the inclusion
he's
of
a brilliant
Tonali.
player, but anyway, still. Eddie Howe again. What point of the season did anyone think Newcastle were going to qualify for the Champions League
That's true.
until maybe a month or 2-3 months ago? Why? That's because they kept winning like 9, 8. I can't remember the stat, but they kept winning in a row. They put themselves into contention, and that's a big reason on Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
This is his Newcastle team. He has imprinted a style, a philosophy of football that wins them football matches and makes them very hard to beat.
100%. I mean, look, I think either of the two are great managers, and
Would you like to add on Eddie Howe's praise?
I think from the moment he's been in, you can see there's a cultural difference at the club.
Yeah,
This is what his second Champions League. Well, he's gonna have his second Champions League campaign with Newcastle. And if you said this question, when Newcastle played Champions League football 5 years ago,
Mhm.
no one would believe you.
Mm.
They've made
It
it
just
twice.
won't happen.
Yeah,
It's like they made it twice. And they were like, one dodgy decision away from actually going through last season in
Yeah.
the group stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, against PSG.
At home.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
No,
not home.
away, at the
away.
Parc des
Yeah,
Princes.
away.
What was the decision?
Yeah.
Something.
There's a dodgy
Was
penalty.
it-
Yeah, it's a dodgy penalty.
yeah.
Yeah, and they would have went 1-0 up, and they
they
would have
did
topped their
smack 'em
group.
as well in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They beat them 4-1.
And I mean,
Yeah.
look, they were unlucky to even get in that group in general. I mean, look, maybe next year with the league phase, they won't be in that type of situation. And
Well, we'll see if they
who
keep
knows?
Isak. They got to keep Isak.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
he'll stay.
I think they will.
Well, you
keep
said it
Isak.
yourself. If they get Champions League football, he's not leaving.
Yeah.
He's not going.
Yeah, probably.
I think Abid was screaming in his room if.
I loved it. Wait, what? When they qualified?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
You're like, no Liverpool Isak.
Because
But
I
imagine.
read some nefarious reports that Liverpool
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, could slap up Words and Isak.
Yeah.
And I went, what? But no. Just quickly on this a lot. You know, fantastic. I do admire him a lot. You know, I did praise him a lot. But I think it's 50-50 this season. I think the credit has to go to Jurgen Klopp as well, because Mcallister, Gravenberch, it didn't work for Gravenberch under Klopp.
Yeah.
But that Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch, those three were bought last season under Klopp.
Yeah.
And two of those players were good. You know, Szoboszlai was
Mm.
good last season, but McAllister brilliant. This Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool in a winning position.
Yeah, he did. 100%.
And
You're
and,
right.
and winning the league in your first season is incredible. I'm not saying it's not, but we need to apply context here. They've got the best right winger in the world, the best attacker in the world.
Yeah.
They've got the best defender in the world. They've got the best goalkeeper in the world. They've got the best right back in the world. Probably the best creative player in the world alongside KDB. They've got those four in general.
You're right.
Last season, they were top of the league more than any other club.
Yeah.
Last season, they were top of the league more than City and more than Arsenal. Why did they drop off? They dropped off in the last few games because of injuries. So this Liverpool team, and in 22, 23, they kind of suffered a lot.
Yeah.
Again, because of injuries. But I don't think it's an amazing achievement that he won the league. I don't. Because of what I said.
But what if you could say that the style of play, so the injuries, for example, they've had significantly less impact from their injuries? Could put that down to the way he's coached his team, no?
Yeah, and we can compare that to the way Jurgen Klopp used to play,
Yeah.
which was relentless, high-pressing football.
I think they've toned down in that type of manner to the Klopp, like all action, you know, jam-packed rock and roll football, as people used to
Yeah.
call it. But I feel like it's also like the way he's utilised these players. Of course, everyone knew they were great set of players. They won
The
the league
best.
before. They're exactly guaranteed one of the best, probably one of the best squads that a manager's ever had to inherit. And you have to manage them still, and you still have to get the performances out, because you're still going up against a very competitive Arsenal side who made it last
No, we
stage
weren't
of the
allowed to
Champions
be
League.
competitive, were we?
What do you mean?
We weren't allowed to be competitive.
All right, we're not doing PGMO segment here.
Well, we weren't, and that's the facts.
Okay.
No, I love Slot, but I think I don't think it's an overachievement what he's done. I really don't.
I feel like I still think it's an achievement though.
Of course,
It's
winning-
achievement still,
winning the
but-
Premier League is an achievement.
Yeah.
It's
But
just not greater than
I don't
Eddie
think
Howe's.
it's he won the league in the first season. Done. I don't think it's like that. I think he's in a very good position.
Yeah, fairs. I mean, so that means we have a joint split for Eddie Howe and Slot. Another thing that the comments can deal with. Player of the season, I mean, should we just write it off? We put
Yeah,
it down
it's
quick.
fine.
Yeah, it's not
Salah,
Salah.
we already put it down.
Salah.
Everyone got Salah. Hopefully you have Salah.
Yeah, no, sorry.
But I think this was a very interesting one because, of course, we doing the young player of the year. Of course, I put a clause in there. It has to be 21 and under because the Premier League have some 23 rule. I don't know how Gravenberch is in here. He's like 24 or something.
Yeah.
But we, of course, doing under 21. So the true youngsters, the real players that have broke through this season, basically. And there's people who could say it's a straight write-off. For me, there are other players, but I've gone for MLS.
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 Oh, I mean,
We already
there's a-
spoken about it before. I think we move on.
yeah, I mean, but look,
Robbed.
for what?
Robbed.
Of
He
what?
wasn't even on the candidates for.
Oh, yeah,
Young
yeah,
Player
yeah.
Season.
Was he not?
Was he not?
No.
Yeah.
And he better win the Copa Award. Maybe.
Nah, I don't know if
Maybe.
he won
Maybe.
I think Lamine will win, mate.
Maybe.
Can you win it again if you win it once? Can you win it multiple times?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay.
can you even do that?
You can't
again?
win it multiple times.
I don't know if you can with the
Yes,
Copa.
Once you win it once,
Can
you're done.
The Copa.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
I'm
pretty
pretty
sure
sure
it's
it
only
is, yeah.
one.
So
The
he's
Copa-
won already,
MLS
isn't
better
Oh,
win
yeah,
the
no,
Copa.
yeah.
Nah.
MLS
So
better
who-
win the Copa.
Can Pedri get still? He must be able to get
He's
still.
won it. He's won it before.
He's won it.
Oh, yeah,
he won
yeah.
2020. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
No, 2021.
So he's still left to get it.
MLS could be in for a
It
shout.
has
We
to be
could
MLS.
have
It
it.
has to be MLS.
But everyone hates Arsenal. So I don't
How old
know.
is Florian?
Okay.
Oh yeah, Verts.
Verts could be in
But
Yeah.
okay, we'll leave it there.
What about Musiala?
Anyway, do you want to talk about anything on MLS, or we already
Nah,
said
I don't
it?
think so.
sensational.
All right. We will go to the overachievers. Overachievers. So this could be anything. Overachievers in the Premier League in general. Clubs, players, managers, teams. For me, I had someone, but because I still have them still.
I've got two. I'm struggling to.
I
pick
still have
them.
Forest. I still have Forest.
I think it's Forest.
I still have Forest.
From going from a relegation battle
Yeah.
to
We
playing in
can't
Europe.
deny. Of course, you've talked about it already, but we just can't deny it. The fact that they've gone from that low down to this far up.
Yeah, okay.
With all the mess that they had.
Who did you have, Abid?
I've got two, man.
Which is?
I had Newcastle, but I'm gonna pick Crystal Palace. I don't care. It's not Premier League. It's the FA Cup. It's
Yeah,
it's
fine,
an English
fine.
competition.
Hands
Crystal
are up.
Palace.
Hands are up. Sorry.
Crystal Palace.
It's
European
not just that as
football.
well. Like they've also done very well in the
Yeah,
league.
they have.
Only
recently.
yeah, 12th again, innit?
Yeah,
That's
but
good, that's true.
they were like what?
But-
They were 20 at the one point.
They basically finished in the top 6 with Europa League
Yeah,
football. So that's
yeah,
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Does Tottenham not count?
Oh yeah.
Because
No, they-
they're playing
No,
Champions League
No,
football.
stay there.
one
Go
goal
on.
conceded.
Okay.
One goal conceded in the whole FA Cup run. Mateta firing.
Yeah.
Eze sensational.
Munoz.
Wharton.
I mean,
Munoz.
Munoz has been so.
Munoz.
I was considering for the
Wharton.
team season, it was close because
Yeah.
for that kind of player, I mean, every time I see him play, especially against City, he decides to become like not even
Yeah,
Trent,
he's a very
like
good
something. He
player,
thinks
yeah.
he's Daniel Alves or something. Like he just runs up and down the pitch, defends perfectly and attacks perfectly as well. I don't know how he
Yeah,
does
it's
this.
crazy.
And the final, of course, against us was perfect in that game.
Mm.
Gave us trouble all game.
Yeah.
Could not let anyone play.
Palace might be the show actually.
Who did you
Well,
go for?
I was initially thinking Brentford, but that
Brentford
could,
didn't do anything though.
I'm thinking more of it like the expectations of them from. I know it's this season, but if we're looking
But they've
at,
been a consistent Premier League team though.
I know, but I
Yeah.
mean just in general, like the way that they've. Again, this is the highest position. No, they came eighth or ninth. I can't remember where it is.
Yeah,
I mean, since they've been in the Premier League, they've not been fighting relegation.
Nah, you know what? Yeah, I'm changing. I'm going Crystal Palace, bro. I'm going Crystal Palace. I'm going Crystal Palace. I'm going Crystal Palace.
Yeah, no,
On my head
I
top.
might have to
I'm
go.
going Crystal Palace. We're going
Nice.
Crystal Palace.
If we're
Well,
saying
you-
specifically
I said
overachievers,
no
yeah.
first.
Oh, okay.
But nah, I think Crystal Palace.
To
Like,
overachieve, yeah, I think I would
Their
agree
first
with
trophy in the history.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
Yeah,
is,
I mean
yeah.
the scenes. The
Well,
scenes are crazy.
major.
Major, yeah.
Nah, that is basically the first trophy.
yeah,
Everyone in
yeah.
Carabao
What
Cup.
happens to you saying about them winning the World Cups all the time?
Oh, yeah, but this still counts. Okay.
And this is the manager who came in, worked with his bunch of players, made them fit his 3-back system, and won a trophy.
Whoa, what are you trying
He
to
lost his
signify
best
there?
player, lost his
Lost
best
his best
player.
player.
Was
And you know
20th
what?
at one point and then
Was 20th
improved.
at one point.
And then improved.
Has to
That's
go
not true.
go to South London and live in South London every day.
What's wrong with living in South
And I
London?
think you're
What?
signaling.
You're from there, Arsenal.
No, we're not.
No,
we're not
what?
London, we're not
Okay.
What?
And I
Oh.
think you're
Arsenal from South
signaling.
London.
Wait. I think
Alright.
Abid was kind of signifying. My flop of the season.
Oh, I like that one.
I thought it's
You want to use your-
underachievers.
Yeah, no,
Let's not say flop. Let's say underachievers.
Okay,
flop.
underachievers.
Underachievers of the season can only go to one establishment.
You
A
never
bunch of
sing
Put
players.
that
that.
into an
You'll
establishment.
never
I want to
sing
put it down
that.
to a single person.
Underachievers.
One-
You'll never sing that.
Spit it out, come on. No, don't point. It's rude to point. Spit it out. Pause.
Tottenham Hotspur FC.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course, it has to be a Manchester United
Abid, who do you
football
have?
club.
But why?
But why? Because we have not performed well enough in the Premier League. We've done very well in Europe, but when it came to the final hurdle, we decided to not even turn up for the race.
Well, you didn't make top 6 or something. What happened?
No, what we did was, right, we finished, what would it be? 9 places behind? Is it 9? It might be 9. No, it might be more than 9.
So wait,
Is it 9?
So wait, you're telling me the new manager who came in 4 points off top 4 finished 16, 15?
Well, that's a
15.
very, you know,
No, come on. Respect. He got 8 points in 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
5 months. Sorry, 5.
listen, I think that's a very,
8 points in 5
you know,
months.
Oh, please try and defend that.
He didn't win 2
Inflated.
games in a row. He couldn't win.
he
2
did win 2
points.
games in a row.
When?
Oh, my
8
God.
points in 5 months is nowhere true.
That's it's true.
No, it's more than that.
It is. You can
No,
find
no,
it
it's 8.
since,
It's
since
8.
December.
After today's
yeah.
game, it's 8.
Yeah.
8
8
points.
points. Yes, it's 8 points. Yeah.
That's crazy.
In January, they didn't hit 40 points. Where are you now? 41?
42.
42 points.
If they did win today, they'll 39.
Yeah.
You know what, yeah.
Defend that, go on.
This is not Man United segment, but it's a Man United segment.
Why is this a Man United segment?
Because we're talking about the underachievers of the season. And
Okay.
you're Man United.
Well, you know, it's been a very poor season, but, you know, you thought last season couldn't get worse. But
It can.
It can. But, yeah, it's been a very disappointing season. masked by, you know, various decisions, not just by managers, by the higher ups, and
What decision? Sacking your dinner lady?
yes, that
What decision?
stuff like that.
What decision?
You know, decisions like, you know, keeping Eric Ten Hag last season.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
fair.
signing players that allegedly fit his system,
Yeah, fair.
and then bringing in a manager who plays a completely different system and expecting him to do something with it. Now, looking at it back now, should we have sacked Ten Hag knowing this was going to happen? I mean, we're playing better, we're playing survival football, you know, but with Amorim,
Yeah, probably wouldn't have finished 15th. Though.
no, we definitely would have not finished 15th, but it probably would have been between what?
8th again.
No, I think it would have been between
11.
You still would
between
have had a
12
good shot
to
in the
6.
Europe.
I think 12 to 6.
You would have
is
still had
fair.
a good shot in the Europa
12 to
League
6 is
too.
a
It's
large
not
range.
like-
Because
Yeah.
no, because I'm saying 12 to 6 because when Amrin came in, we were 12. So from there to 6th, I think that's where we would have been, which is again still not good enough because
It's Manchester United.
it's Manchester United we're talking about. But you know, the season's over. Certain players are already gone.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Certain players are already gone
Ooh.
by judging by the selection of the team. And well, it's gonna be a very, very
Looking
big
forward to
summer.
the future.
Of course. I hope this summer will be the start of the beginning again. As in,
I thought Era's
I-
come to an end like 2-3 years
yeah,
ago.
it did, mate. That's why he got sacked. His era came to an end.
Oh my days.
But in terms of having a plan, as having a style of play that the club can move forward with, so if you do sack managers, it's like how Arnie Slot. Obviously, he tinkered and whatever, but say we play a more forward-thinking
Mhm.
type of football, not this survival, sit back, try and hit them on the counter.
Mhm.
Even if you sack Ruben Amorim, the foundation will be placed there for the next manager to just come in, you know,
You think any of us will do that?
as in sack Amorim.
No, the plan
Well,
you're talking about.
The pressure's on them. As much as you want to blame Ruben Amorim, and being was it 15th is not good by any stretch of the imagination, especially not playing in Europe at all. It's not his fault because, in terms of he was brought in to play a certain style of football.
This is a team of season video. Let's just leave it there.
Well, look, I think that summarizes our
Yeah,
things.
Listen.
That's a new one.
We'll leave
Blaming
it.
the board for finishing 15th.
Of course, because
Blaming the board.
we
for-
brought in a
for
manager.
Bringing in a manager that can't adapt. That is crazy.
No, the Broad brought in
You
a
are
manager.
An incredible gaslighter.
Well,
Wow.
we're gonna see it anyway. We're gonna see it clear out in the summer. We're gonna see new players brought in that will fit his system.
It will be vindicating
look,
if you do well next season. It will.
Look, if
If
talk about-
we will not finish 15th next season. I'm saying on camera right now, we will not finish 15th.
Oh, that's such a
17th.
wild statement to say.
We
Oh
will
my God.
finish
Man United.
somewhere between.
16th, you're finishing 16th next
If
season.
we somehow finish 16th, that is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But this again. Actually, no. We're carrying on with this. We're carrying on with this. This is not a Man United
Yeah, but
segment.
look,
Okay.
we'll leave that for a Man United mention meeting. We could get
When we're
that.
having this Man United mention meeting,
Bro, we have to find some die-hard Manchester United fans
I don't know
to
if you
sit
know
through
this.
this. I know a few as well. Do you know if you?
I do know.
Well, we can get something sorted. Don't worry about that. We can discuss it there.
okay then.
Now, but yeah, that is the underachievers, Manchester United, and then we'll move on to the next category, which was the best signing of the season, the player that has been signed in this season, January or summer, to make the biggest impact. And for me, he's sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Is he sitting on the table for you?
Yeah, he's sitting on the table.
Is he sitting on the table for you?
I don't know what that means.
I don't get the joke either. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Your best signing is not sitting on the table.
We signed Dogu, that was it.
Not your best signing. It's the best signing of the season for the Premier League.
You talking about Milenkovic?
No, he's not sitting on the table.
He's talking about Marmoush.
I'm not talking about that either. What?
What are you talking
Yeah,
about
man.
then? What do you mean sitting on this table?
The best signing of the season.
Oh,
What's your
me.
name?
Oh, great. No, great. Good job.
The best signing of the season.
Oh yes, yes, I understand.
Oh,
I agree. He's been 10 out of 10. Most time for Ballon d'Or. No. World class Sancho, freedom fighter himself.
Wait, why do you go that way?
Whoa, what's going on here?
Freedom fighter.
We're not going for freedom fire.
He's looking
Freedom
for
fire.
licks because
We're
of
going
what we
for
just
Dean.
did.
Dean
Oh man.
We're going for Dean.
Dean Hoyson.
I love
Of
how he had
course.
that little monologue for
Yeah,
Sancho.
what? He just tried
Of
him.
course, freedom fighter himself.
Did
You
you
know.
have Dean?
Of course,
Did you have
it
Dean?
was in my list.
I did
But
not
did you have Dean?
Yeah, first.
Okay.
It was a list.
Did you have Dean?
I'll put Dean because why not?
I mean,
Who
if
do
a
you-
player
do you want
of
Dean or not Dean?
okay.
I was gonna put Milenkovic.
You can
but
put Milinkovic
we'll-
down. No one's gonna say no.
Yeah, I'll put Milenkovic.
There
But it
you
doesn't
go.
matter. 3 of you have picked Dean anyway.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah, but-
you still put
Alright,
a player
okay.
down.
With Dean Huijsen, this is what his first season, right? Because he came
Yep.
from
19 years
But
old.
this is best
he,
signing.
he
This was
came
his
from
first season.
Juventus after a loan spell at Roma.
Yep.
And we talk about how good Trent is and how he's going to Real Madrid, but let's not forget he's also going to Real
Yeah,
Madrid
he's
as well,
also
Yeah,
going
it
to-
is.
which shows you how good he's been this season.
And look, Jose
Yeah.
Mourinho said it when he had him on loan.
Exactly.
I forgot what exactly it was. He said that he was going to be one of the best centre backs in the future. That's what Jose Mourinho word for word said.
Mhm.
And I mean, for both to sign him on for 15 mil and to sell him off for 50 mil in only one season, I mean, talk about profits. That's a quick turnover for them. And yeah, I mean, of course, that shows the quality. One season in the Prem to do so well for them, and
And we talk
straight to Real
about
Madrid.
how complete a player he is as well as a centre back.
Yeah.
Incredibly.
Can play
good,
for
yeah.
any of the top teams, of course. That's why he's going to Real Madrid. And
Mhm.
it's just the way he's adapted to the modern game, very composed, and I mean, he's just a chill guy. Celebration.
Oh, great, yeah.
Go on, Evan. What do you think? Why do you have Dean?
He's the industry plant.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
He's the industry plant.
He shouldn't be Spanish, to be fair.
He was
But
planted in this football world.
Why?
He's an industry plant.
for what?
For what? What's he planted by?
Real
Check his
Madrid.
history. It's shady.
What?
Look at his dad.
Who's
His dad was a former player. No,
Yeah,
do-
but he
do
still
research.
has to be good himself to that can't be
No,
planted.
he's an industry plant.
Okay, but what does that mean?
No, he's brilliant, fantastic player, but he's an industry plant.
But what does that mean?
What's that mean?
Search up his dad, watch.
Why am I searching
I'm
up
not
his dad? I'm
searching
talking
his
about him.
Talk about on the pod.
Him, the
What did you
player.
find out about his
What did he
dad?
do?
Okay, about him.
Search up Dean Huijsen on Google. Search up Dean Huijsen.
Oh, what? His dad's a drug
no,
dealer.
No, search up Dean Huijsen.
He worked for Pablo
No, wait.
Escobar. All right,
Yeah,
fine
No,
then.
Search up Dean
He knew
Yeah,
Diego
Dean Huijsen.
Maradona.
Huijsen.
Yeah.
Space dad.
I thought
Yeah.
Dean Huijsen's name was one name altogether.
No. See.
Well, he's a
Huijsen's-
brilliant player, but a bit shady going on there.
What?
What did
Can
it
I
say?
What did
Oh, it's something against
it
Arsenal,
says
isn't it?
Huijsen's father, Donny, and his agent, Ali Barat, have spent the last few months on Caicedo holding discussions with no particular order with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal.
No, don't worry. Listen, I'll
Just say it, yeah.
I'll make a case on him.
Okay.
Brilliant player, but is a bit too planty.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Can we get an explanation?
Can you explain it?
I'll
Explain
investigate. No, I'll investigate.
Why we?
No?
Okay, so Dean
He's
Huijsen
going
a good
on
player.
vibes. He's going on
Yeah,
vibes.
brilliant.
He's going on
brilliant player.
vibes.
Was wanted by Chelsea, was wanted by Arsenal, was wanted by Real Madrid. Ended up going Real Madrid. Brilliant player, you know.
But why is he industry for? I'm confused.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Alright, is it coming in the next video or something?
Break the press.
We're getting a Man United
Okay.
emergency meeting one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
And
sure.
the season.
He's
the
the
last
industry fan.
category for the season to wrap up our Premier League review is goal of the season. There's been quite a few decent goals this season. Yeah, I'd say there's quite a few decent ones. Caicedo against Arsenal to think about. But for me, man, happened second to last game, penalty game for Man City. Malmish vs Bournemouth.
I
man.
forgot who I had as my goal. Okay.
Rocket.
But you have your phone on you.
Yeah, check.
Who was your goal of the season? Wait, Abdul, who was your one?
Mitoma.
Oh, is it?
Chelsea.
Oh, is it?
Same.
Matoma vs Chelsea? Was
I
your
can't
Matoma?
remember. I'm gonna go with Thomas' goal. I'll go with
How do you
Thomas' goal.
forget? Okay.
I can't remember it.
I mean, Matoma vs Chelsea. I mean, that goal. Oh, you want to go for Marmish first? It's the old time banger. The goals
corner,
that
top
Ronaldo
corner.
scored those. We were screaming about them.
Knuckle.
Malmish scored them. Do you know what it is? Yeah, for
This
me,
one right here.
yes, literally. I mean, when I saw that, I just could not believe it. I don't know. I don't understand how it went in because the way it's like the technique is something you don't see because normally from that distance it's a finesse top bins or like a cut inside finesse whatever. That's the easiest goal to score, high percentage probably. But Marmoush, the way he laced it, straight knuckle, it floats above the bar. I thought you think it's going out, and it's just somehow knuckle would swerve straight top bins.
Was it
keeper
knuckle or
saved
more
it.
top spin? They
It
look
was a bit of both.
Bit both.
Because top spin's like when he goes up and over. His went up and then went
They
left.
had a lot of that scoop motion.
Yeah, no, it
That's
was.
why I'm saying top spin.
Yeah, it was tossing, but it was like up and then left somehow. Explain how he goes left there.
Yeah.
It was the way he hit
The
it.
ball's going left, blood.
Exactly. It went in. And it went in, top bins, bar and in. It's just beautiful. Of course, very
Yeah, man.
recent, so it should be fresh on everyone's mind. It's just a beautiful goal. But
great
go on,
goal,
you guys can talk about You should. Actually, we'll let Dean take this away.
Yeah.
But talk about Chelsea. You saw it happen. I
Was
saw
that?
it.
I can't remember if that was to make it 1-0 or not. I can't remember.
No, they won that game, no?
Yeah,
they won 3-0, but I can't remember if that was the first goal or not.
Oh, I
No,
think
that
was the second
that
goal.
was second
The
half.
second goal, no? The second goal.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just
Describe it. For any
Yeah.
people that forgot it somehow.
I mean, it's a long ball over him, and then the touch. I mean, that was the main part of the goal, I think.
Yeah.
He kills it, and it's a touch that just destroys the entire defense.
Yeah.
It unsettles everybody completely, and then the composure to just finish in the bottom corner like that from that.
Yeah,
far
I mean,
out.
just shows how dangerous one first touch, one little bit
Yeah.
of skill, trickery,
Yeah.
bang, the entire defense is just shocked. They don't know what to do. They expect a heavy touch. They expect a touch going wayward. They expect something else.
And to
just
counter
something.
your thing about Marmoush, of course, incredible strike, but how often are you going to see a goal like Matoma's
That's
goal?
probably technically the hardest goal to score.
Yeah,
I
one of
don't
those
know.
over
Yeah.
the top, the ball. But he wasn't even looking at the ball properly.
Yeah.
He just let it come, just
Wait,
face
what do you-
him
what do
and
you mean?
bang. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Does the ball come over his shoulder?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you?
And then-
What,
no, and then
He
he
focused
touched
on
it.
the other bit.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
which is a great
And
finish.
it's still quite far out as well. You
Yeah,
can
it
still
was a
argue
great
like
finish
he's
still.
gonna finish it as well. So
Cut in, finish,
Yeah,
bang.
it was a great goal, and yeah, I mean that.
I mean, the
is-
man with the
I shot.
dribbling PhD in it.
Yeah, the drilling PhD.
Very,
Put away.
it's very good at dribbling.
Who'd have
He's
thought?
very, very good at
Who'd have
dribbling.
brilliant analysis. Man.
But he's very good at it. But you saw it in 4K.
I did see it in 4K. Now that was
But yeah, I mean that is our Premier League review. That is all the categories. Player season Salah, young player season MLS, manager season slot, overachievers. Did we have all together?
No, we both had Eddie Howe.
Oh yeah, it was a
Yeah.
split. It was
It was
split. I
split.
forgot. Overachievers was Forest. I can't remember who we put down.
Palace.
Oh yeah, Palace. I
Palace,
forgot.
yeah.
Flop. We don't need to mention that one. And
Nah, Manchester United. Manchester United.
do you want to mention that? Do you want to say it? He was flop?
Of course, Manchester United.
It just sounds so good. You want to say it one more time?
Yeah, sure, Manchester United.
God.
He hates his
Clip
club.
it up.
He actually hates his club.
Best signing was the man next to me, Dean
Great.
Huijsen.
I'm not even Spanish.
Dean.
Or Dutch.
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
goal of the season goes to Mitoma versus Chelsea. It's a great season from Break the Press. We took half the season up. We'll be here
But
for
the people
full
were saying this has not been a good Prem season. The worst Premier League season.
I
Who?
agree.
I think total
people.
tower is guaranteed.
I mean,
Relegation was trash. We could have had an all-time relegation.
Actually, no, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
because relegation's been trash and tower has been trash.
it has been a bad
Guarantees up
season.
there.
And a top 5 race. What is this woke nonsense?
I'm there for
It
top
should
5
be
race.
4. Nah, of
No,
course
but
you are.
it's because
We
England
finished
very
third
high,
actually.
That's why.
Whoa! We finished third.
wow! After spending 200 million.
What?
Also, even if it was top 4, it's like 2 points between.
Yeah, it
them.
was still
Yeah,
quite
but
close.
Third
there
and
would have been
seventh.
more. There would have been more. Jeopardy on the line.
Yeah, true.
Would there be how far was who's fourth again? Newcastle's fourth, right?
We came
Yeah.
fourth. We came
Oh,
fourth.
you guys came
Yeah,
fourth.
we came
But
fourth.
how far
Scraped
were
in.
Nottingham Forest from you guys?
2 points.
2 points.
Mm.
And then there's like a 5-point gap
Yeah.
on Brighton.
Uh,
A top 5 race. The worst Premier League teams in history.
But you can say on average they got a lot of points.
Who?
Like from top 9 or whatever, 8 on average. That's the most we've seen.
Because
Actually-
you got
I
dead
mean,
teams like
do we-
Southampton, Ipswich,
Yeah,
Man
that's true,
United,
it's proven.
Tottenham. You know what I mean?
Rub it a little bit more. But yeah, for me, okay, look, for emotional wise, I get to watch Man United suffer. So great
That is
season.
true. That is true.
Does that put up a little bit?
No, that's true actually. That's the worst
and-
top 6 season in Premier League history.
That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
think
yeah.
a lot of people saying it's the worst season.
Oh,
Because of the top
oh.
6. That's probably
And also,
why.
we got Europa League final with.
Are we not
United
gonna?
final.
Are we gonna skip over the fact that since Liverpool were crowned champions, they have struggled to win games?
It's
They've-
a
they've-
hangover,
I mean, yeah, they've been
Hangover.
there. They've been
It
there.
happens, we've done it as well as a
Hangover.
club.
You don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
Have you seen your team in the Premier League?
Yes.
Okay.
I was 5 months old.
He's never experienced hungover period yet.
Yes,
Huh?
I have.
When?
FA Cup.
Oh.
I was hungover.
That's the best trophy he's ever
I was-
seen.
I was
With his
hung-
2 eyes, and that's the best trophy
I was
he's seen.
hungover for 3 weeks.
Alright. Okay.
But look, I mean, that is the season. That is our season wrapped up. That is it all summed up in one video for you. So if you missed the entire season, you came to this video. This is what the season was about, mate. And yeah, I mean, any other words, Dean? Any words for the viewers?
We'll be back for the Club World Cup, me and you.
Oh, yeah,
Are we actually being back for the Club World Cup?
Not you guys. What the hell are you talking
You
about?
can go.
We got friendly game. We're starting pre-season, but next week.
What?
Yeah, you can look. We got friendly games coming up.
Yeah, but don't care, bro. It's not Club World Cup. We got a trophy on the line.
We-
How much
we
money is
got
on the line?
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Shut
billion
up. There's no way you're
$1
getting
billion
a
dollars.
billion.
It's
dollars.
100 million.
It's 100 million, but
You're not
$1
getting
billion.
a billion for the Club
Wait, is it
World
not
Cup.
100 mi- That's just a billion.
How
Are
much
you
is $1 billion?
stupid?
I read. Check.
Are you
This is
stupid?
what happens when your team spends $1 billion every year.
Oh,
A 100 million team is $1 billion.
I swear it was 1 billion.
No,
That's
$1
what I
billion
read.
team is 100
It
million.
Ah,
won
you see it, that's what I read.
billion.
no, it's 100 million. but
$100 million.
$100 million.
$100 million.
Will you be in America?
I wouldn't. Okay.
We'll not be in
I'll
America.
be there when you get pumped by some random Sri Lankan.
Actually, we got Juventus in our group. We got Juventus
with
in our
like
group.
Rodrigo's
Yeah,
brother
yeah.
up front.
Who do you have in your group?
I can't remember.
I got Juventus, so
I remember
calm
they
down.
did.
Alright.
Yeah.
It
I got
becomes
Juventus.
friendlies as soon as you two get knocked out.
Oh, great, nice.
But yeah, I mean, like, share, and subscribe. Watch the video a billion times. We'll be here. The season's over, but we're not over. We're still here.
Transfer daily. We'll be here.
I'm not going to be. I don't want to talk about Liverpool's transfer signings.
Oh,
Why not?
But we'll have emergency
Right.
meetings for a few players. We'll have emergency meetings for him. You know, we still haven't talked about Europa League. Also, we have Champions League next week. Conference League
Wait, why do we
next
have
week.
Champions League? Oh, finals. Oh my god.
What the hell are you talking about? Conference League next week. A lot to do. A lot to think about. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you're here. Next season will be bigger and better for us specifically.
I'll just like to say one thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur on winning the Europa League.
Do you want to run for that one?
You guys can do it.
What the heck? What the hell are you doing? You're an Arsenal fan. You
He's
can't do that.
clapping for me.
Produce checks.
Yeah, he's
I
clapping
see.
for me.
I thought you said you wouldn't care.
Huh?
You said you wouldn't
No,
care if they won.
I wouldn't care, but I couldn't watch them lift the trophy.
I couldn't watch
I watched the
either.
whole thing.
I watched that.
But congratulations,
Man.
Tottenham. You know, they won a trophy. 17 years. You know.
18.
18 years.
Was
So,
it?
17.
17.
17 years. So
The
congratulations.
year of teams
Birds.
breaking the drought.
The year of the birds.
the birds.
The birds.
The birds.
Do either Inter Milan or PSG have a bird on their thing?
No, but PSG have never won.
I heard that Real Betis
Yeah,
apparently have a
they
bird.
changed it
Yeah,
to a
they do.
bird.
They do. Yeah.
They
You
changed
better
it
watch
to-
out. You better watch
We will
out.
not be there. We will not be there.
Because we will
but
record
yeah.
next week Thursday and
Yeah,
I will
no.
be here.
Next week
We will not
Thursday,
be there.
we have to do a preview for that game and the Champions League. So we'll be there.
Personally, I won't be previewing the Conference League, will you?
No, I won't be there.
Will you?
Anthony.
He can do it at what? Budapest, wherever you're going.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that is the episode, lads, and people and whoever, and wherever you are. But
Yeah, just stop before you.
Yeah, just
cancel us,
end
yeah?
it. Just
Just
like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, people.
Goodbye.